twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good morning, Diane. Hi. I'm here. Wow. Okay. Wow. Yes, I know, Diane. It's Friday. You're looking at the emails like, dude, do you realize it's Friday? Like, can we just get on with the weekend? Do you have to send over video, pictures, all the above that looks like a 4-hour show? I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on Voice of Rural America. Now, I've got a couple things to report this morning. It's going to be a very active Friday morning. I regret, from sea to shining sea, internationally, those of you that may be watching in Canada, as you well know, I broadcast from Georgia. And we are currently in our 2025 Georgia legislative session. And the Georgia legislative session has totally made a mockery out of Trump MAGA. And I'm here to report Georgia is not Trump country. Now, I'm going to get the Joshettes. I'm going to get the people around the state that are going to be very upset with that comment. You won't recognize the names maybe out there in Idaho, but Brad Carver, Josh McCoon, Ginger Howard's going to be upset. Even Candace Taylor. But 10 o'clock this morning, I'm going to be doing a full hour, the Georgia Hour. And sadly, in that hour, I'm going to lay out methodically with proof, as we always do, Georgia is not Trump country. They've made a total mockery. That was disappointing to open up that way. I'm sorry to do that, Diane. Did I tell you who I am? BKP, good morning. So some other good news, Diane. We do not have to pay a tariff on the national anthem Well, as you well know, we open our show every single morning with our national anthem. And a dear friend of mine, and I say dear friend of mine from Canada, who would have thought it? Who would have thunk it, right? From Canada, who sang the national anthem at the hockey Toronto Maple Leafs. She would do the American national anthem at the hockey game. She did that for 8 years. She recorded it, sent it to me, and wanted this program to have it from Canada because of her love, a Canadian, for America. And I just have to say that it means so much. So I made a little joke. Do we have to pay an import tariff on our national anthem produced in Canada? So I talked to Madonna yesterday. I sent her a message to give me a call. She did. We talked for about 20 minutes about Canada. She is not charging me a tariff. That's joking. She really laughed when I asked her that. She still to this day loves Donald Trump in Canada. And she proceeded to tell me, your media makes it sound like, she said, your media makes it sound like we are your neighbor to the north and that we're just the most amazing people and the greatest neighbor you could ever have. And she said, Canada has taken advantage of America for years, and we know that up here. But what you don't report, meaning our media, what you don't report is what Justin Trudeau did to our country. And I'm thinking it's just like Biden, right? Just like Biden, the devastation. I mean, Donald Trump is not only taking over the devastation of this country, he's taking over the devastation to the north that Trudeau created, right? And he's being handed the cartels south of the border and the crisis there. So she said yesterday, she said, your media is not talking about what Trudeau did to our country, our carbon tax, our capital gains tax, our kids can't buy a home. He sent out the horses, look that up, that trampled our people. She said, we still have truck drivers in prison. We are now just about for the last year taking the plexiglass down. We were imprisoned. The people in this country that lost their jobs, lost everything because they wouldn't take the jab. The mandatory vaccination of the jab in Canada was much higher than America. And look what you went through. And she said, yes, we have that liberal side that we hope is, we're not too far gone. But we really want to turn Canada around. There's a large group of us that want to turn it around. And we want Canada to be on the right track, like Donald Trump is putting your country back on track. So I just thought I would say that. They talk about Canada like that great next door neighbor that, is that a crack house? No, they barbecue on the weekends. Those cars in and out at 3 a.m., that's not a problem. They're just dropping off stuff for the barbecue on the weekend. That's Canada. All right, so did I just say Canada is the crack house next door? Yeah, I guess I said that. So moving right along this morning, thank you, Madonna. I enjoyed yesterday. She said she will in the future come on the show and say hello to Americans from Canada. And she's busy right now on a tour, a musical tour. She was shut down. Part of her band is from Rod Stewart's band. Part of her band is from the Beach Boys, she's telling me. And yesterday, but her music career, which, as you can hear, she's a great singer, Canadian singer there. her music career was shut down from COVID. They're financially trying to get back on track. There, a little update from Canada. Now, wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me that there's drama, right? Today, let's see, what is today? Today's the 14th. Are you trying to tell me that drama on the shutdown, and we have reached the last day of the last hour, midnight tonight, and the lights go out on the street lights in DC? Just joking, right? And we're avoiding a government shut on the last day. Are you trying to tell me we created all that drama once again? Really? Interesting. So give me number 14. Senator Schumer says he will vote to advance the spending bill. Right? So we're going to continue the spending bill. Now, I'm going to tell you something, all right? I've thought about this, and I've thought about this, and I've thought about this. That's 3 times I thought about it. 3 times I thought about it. Don't try this at home, kids. Please do not. All right? Couple cheap cigars. And the spending has to stop. Just has to stop. What number is that? Is that number 11? What number did I call? Did I call 11?
14. Everybody text Brian, say you called 14.
I'm going to go with that because there's probably tape. I look over here and I'm like, bam! You put up the tariff on the champagne. That ruined a lot of weekends. Do you see how many? Well, go back to that one. Do you remember that? How many weddings? Hey, that's the kind of day it's going to be. How many weddings is like, excuse me, we need to cut the champagne. Get that $2 blackberry wine out of the cooler. Whew. All right, take that down. Go back to 11. So are you telling me we're right up here? I'm not okay with the spending, okay? And John Ossoff in Georgia said he will vote no. Let's go to Schumer first. We're going to get on. Wait, we're going to go into, because I got to break it down. I start out in the morning, and sometimes I like to have a little fun or lay the groundwork of what we're doing. I'm going to go right to, forget the drama. I'm going to go to the Russian. Vladimir Putin is not going to make this deal. And I'm going to show you, as I've said, remember what I said, right? This is not a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia. Remember that? This is not. Now, Zelensky goes down to Saudi Arabia and says, yeah, I'll sign. Where do I sign? All right. Where do I sign? And it's like Zelensky's pulled the fastest deal. He's went old school. And I'm going to explain in a minute. In fact, let's just call it a mineral. This one mineral. See that mineral? Zelensky's selling that mineral like 8 and 9 times. Yes. Yeah. Everybody is buying the rights to that mineral. He's selling it everywhere. So sure, he's going to sign. But Putin said, no, that's not going to happen. We're going to lay that out. Now, So here it is, Schumer. Where is Chuck Schumer? Trump, boom, 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 boom. Let's go with video 12. Chuck U. Schumer, the Palestinian. Trump changed it from a Jew to a Palestinian. Go to video 12.
To have the conflict on the best ground we have, summed up in a sentence, that they're making the middle class pay for tax cuts for billionaires, it's much, much better not to be in the middle of a shutdown, which would divert people from the number one issue we have against these bastards, these people, which is not only all these cuts, but they're ruining democracy.
So all morning long, Mom, sorry. We're going to roll out the bastards. I'm sorry. You bastards. It's the bastards. I'm sorry. Well, those bastards. Sorry. I won't say it again. We'll debastardize the show. Chuck Schumer, just 2 days ago, I'm not voting for it. We'll shut the place down. Number 8. Now, will they have 60 votes? Yes, they will have 60 votes. Yes, I predict they will have 60 votes. All right? I predict that. Now, Diane, Friday, we're going to tie so many things up that from the good Lord, and I say this, from the good Lord, is this going to upset you? Can you send me messages? Because I don't know how you believe, but I believe there's gifts, all right? I believe there's gifts. I don't think my gift is biology. That was the 3 worst years of my life, the 9th grade biology. I don't think that was my gift. Just saying. All right. I don't think my gift was calculus. Just saying. But I've been given the gift of vision. Now, I know that's going to freak some people out. Some people are going to send me messages and say, wow, you really have the nerve. Yes, I've been given the gift of vision. And people ask me all the time, how do you do this? I took the influences in my life. I took what God gives you the interest you have in your life. And I'm not going to preaching. If you have an interest in your life, to me, God gave you that. If you love to build cars get them out of the junkyard, and that's your interest, I believe God gave you that interest. So as strange as it may be, this is my interest. It just is. It's what interests me, right? And when God gives you that, he develops it in you. I'm just saying. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why I'm even saying this. So today we're going to show you a lot of things that I have just been seeing down the road. Maybe I should stop while I'm ahead, or am I ahead? So Dems divided over a shutdown. Interested. So do I say it like this? God also gave me the ability not to fall for your bullshit. I shouldn't put that in the same sentence. Now, John Ossoff, number 87. Now we will dig a little further into this in the Georgia hour, right? Number 87. John Ossoff's going to kick off his campaign with a rally targeting Donald Trump. And that's why I'm going to show you at 10 o'clock how Georgia is not Trump country. 84, John Ossoff said, I will vote no. Now, they have to have 60 votes, okay? They have to have 60 votes. That's cloture. So you got to have 60 votes to close debate on the Senate floor, and then you vote on it, and then you need 50. So what Schumer is saying is we'll give you 60 to close it, but then I'm going to vote no. And then that way I can be on the record voting no. But will we have 60? Anyhow, or will the government shut down? Give me this video right here. John Ossoff, video 8.
Exclusively yes, because as you know, in D.C., we can't ever make predictions like that. But the number of undecideds yesterday dwindled. In fact, we saw John Ossoff, who's perhaps one of the most vulnerable Democrats up for re-election, say he's going to vote against this. Look, I think that if Schumer votes for it, it gives cover to a lot of folks if they...
All right, so Ossoff's going to vote against it in Georgia. Will it pass? We've gotten up to midnight tonight. Uncertainty. The market doesn't like it. So take that down. Now, yesterday we got a report, and I want to put this up front before we go into Ukraine and Russia, because we're going to show you some things you will not look in the eye, guarantee you will not see anywhere else. No one will talk about what we will in the next half hour. So, the incredible edible egg, number 27. You remember, I think it was last week or week before last, I made a joke that by time Easter rolls around, Donald Trump will have killed the Easter bunny. Remember that? People will be calling each other. We can't get together. Little kids, 4 years old, all excited, getting ready to die Easter eggs. The parents ration them. You get one egg. Little 3-year-old kids crying with mommy. And then the parent has to look at the kid and say, but you don't understand Donald Trump and the tariffs. So you get one egg. And you're scarred for life, and you're older, you're in your 20s, and you can't figure out what's wrong, and you're at a therapist, and you say, when I was 3, one Easter, I only got to color one egg because of tariffs and Donald Trump, and now I can't get along with my children. Where do I come up with this? But anyhow, that's how crazy Democrats are, okay? They are batshit crazy. Anyhow, Trump claims credit for falling egg prices, but no relief for shoppers yet. We're going to put that second line, number 28, the incredible edible egg. All right. Number 28, egg prices fall. Trump administration says, but perhaps only for a little while. That you see that second? Only for a little while. We're going to figure something out. They are actually in back rooms saying, look at the calendar. We only had a couple more weeks to Easter. I thought someone did the math. I thought someone came in and showed us the formula. If we kill 1 million chickens, it will take X amount of days to start restoring, right? Restoring the chicken population, plus eggs, plus price, and no longer does Donald Trump get accused of killing the Easter bunny. I thought we had that math figured out, but only for a little while. All right, that's that one there. And number 29. Let's see, number 29. Egg prices are rapidly falling so far in March. So far. Hold on. Now, if we can get a bird flu outbreak in a week or two, don't get all excited. If a dozen of eggs was $8 and you went there and it was $6.75, don't get all excited. We will do what we can to destroy the incredible edible egg. That I know how silly that sounds, right? So, number 26, they get on there and they're talking about the egg this morning. on MSNBC. And this is give me video. I think this is the one I want. Video 6, Diane. Listen to this.
As well. Yeah, bird flu, one of the root causes of why egg prices were spiking in the first place. CNBC's Sylvia Amaro.
Now, the we hate the country, we hate Donald Trump, we hate you MAGA network, letting you know that's what spiked. So if a guy like BKP comes out and says, well, we won't say it at this given time, we're going to come back. We're going to play that one again in just a moment. Give me video 5 now, Diane.
Is whether this is going to continue. We have to put things into context here, Ali. Looking at the price of eggs over the past year, they are up more than 150%. One of the reasons why we are seeing prices falling this month is because we haven't seen any new outbreaks in terms of avian influenza. So that has helped with the supply. But of course, this is a very delicate situation. Let's see how things will unfold and, of course, how the price could move in the coming weeks as well.
All right. So I always like to do the interpret at this time. Okay. It's like they need a translator. This is the language I speak. Actually, I speak this much better than English in itself. I have hundreds or thousands of English teachers that can tell you I speak this language much better than just the general English that I chop up as I roll along. Okay, we got to put things in context. Okay, so we're going to tell you what really happened. Wow. We haven't seen any additional cases of bird flu. We haven't seen that. Then she used the Economics 101 supply. And the price could move. All right, the price could move. So let's interpret that. All right. Biden administration kills a million chickens. All of a sudden, we have a million chickens out of circulation. And where you're able to put, we'll just call it 1 million dozens of eggs on the shelf, you can now only put 600,000 dozen eggs on the shelf. 1 million chickens are gone. That's all you can do. You can't go in and yell at this chicken, damn it, you gave me 8 eggs yesterday, I want 16, or you're out of here. You can't do that. A chicken is a chicken is a chicken. Bottom line. So, moving right along. As those prices went up, they just killed 1 million chickens. Biden knew what he was doing. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Someone around Biden knew what they were doing. That's the pronoun they, plural. So they kill 1 million chickens. All of a sudden, price goes up. See, supply is down. This is going to be so supply is down, right? Demand is up. Price is up. Wow. Who would have thought that? Supply down, demand up, price is up. Now, supply is going this way. We're getting a couple more chickens out there. The farmers out there, hey, guess what, Martha? We had 8 chickens yesterday. We got 12. Things moving right along. So chickens coming up. Which came first, chicken or the egg, right? Chickens are coming up. Demand is here, but the price is coming down. It's going to go like this. Now, it will, but the price can move if they can get together and decide to kill 1 million chickens or start running a chicken scare. Oh, yeah, the chicken scare of 2025. Every day, well, we got a bird flu. Got a bird flu over here. And I don't mean over the cuckoo's nest. Bird flu, like bird sick. Must kill birds. But there's a difference. Donald Trump is not going to let anyone kill 1 million chickens. What's her name? I forget her name. The agricultural secretary is not going to kill 1 million chickens. RFK Jr. is not going to say, let's kill 1 million chickens. It's not going to happen. This is quite a chicken segment. But it is just an example of the crazy narrative and what they try to do. It's to destroy this country every day. Now, one more time on the, what was that other video? Was it video 5? Give me video 5 again.
Is whether this is going to continue. We have to put things.
That's not the one. Video 6. That's my fault, Diane.
Weeks as well. Yeah, bird flu, one of the root causes of why egg prices were spiking in the first place. CNBC's Sylvia Amaro.
Bird flu, root cause. Wink, wink, wink. We'll try it again. Wink, wink, wink. That's the reason we killed 1 million chickens. Bird flu. All right, so now a market correction. Now we're going to go into a little bit of the world where I understand the general economy. I understand actually what Trump's doing. I do. I'm with Scott Bessent. We'll talk about the Treasury Secretary later. But market correction. Now, if you go take a minute and look up market correction, a 10% decline, whatever. But a stock market at all times has the vulnerabilities to correct itself, period. It can't keep going up. Now, you out there, you know that you can't have a record high every single day in this market correction. And we also know that the stock market is rigged based on algorithms, based on a computer programs that people have today. It's a rigged market. Now, that being said, the uncertainty in America. So I'm listening in the background. You know, I listen over here, and I regret as I'm reading, I hear Morning Joe. And I hear this guy that he cracks me up. Give me number. I'm going to give you a guess. Who do you think I'm about to talk about? Let's see. Where's it at? Give me. No, that's not the one I want. I almost went the wrong direction. Give me 31, Diane, because I got to go to break. We got to come back. Stocks tumble as investors sour on Trump. So I'm listening to this assembled group over here. You know, Lawrence O'Donnell's taking a week off. So stocks tumble. And they're all talking about the uncertainty and what it means to Americans. So I hear this guy and I'm thinking to myself, who's saying this? And I look over and I say, you're the guy that's talking about someone needing glasses. Give me video 11.
Videos, if you haven't, people talk about, I don't know if I should buy myself glasses or my child glasses. How do I prioritize that decision? Think about that. This is America. People are deciding which person needs glasses more, them or their child. They're coming to his rallies. And what he's doing.
So this is the guy that says that Americans are having to make a decision on buying glasses. That's the guy. Maybe he needs a set. Here's Junior. He comes in crying. But Dad, I can't see the chalkboard. Get back out of here, Junior. You're just going to have to squint and try to read the chalkboard. I've got to have glasses first in this family. What a sad day. Anyhow. All right. So we'll be back in a minute. Folks, if you think that I'm just making all of this up because I've got nothing to do. No, it's everything I just showed you is true. Ripley's Believe It or Not. I'll be back after these messages.
Days Chevrolet Jasper is North Georgia's business elite commercial truck giant. Box trucks, landscape trucks, flatbed and heavy hauling trucks. When you've got a job to do, we've got the commercial truck for you. And get a federal tax credit up to 100% of the purchase price. Hundreds of commercial trucks are all right here at Days Chevrolet Jasper. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service, bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Ceasefire, proxy war, Russia, Ukraine. So as I've always said to you, and I continue to say, Russia is not, there's no need, let me put it this way. There's no need for Russia to come to a peace agreement with Ukraine. There's absolutely no need. Ukraine is defenseless against Russia. Unless the proxy war, unless we and others pour equipment in there, and this is where we're at, okay, unless we pour military equipment in there, Ukraine cannot go forward any longer. Putin can go as far as he wants in Russia if he chooses to. Now, if you're out there and you think, well, we could up our military presence as far as we could send more javelins, we can send long-range missiles, we could send tanks, we can send F-16, Europe can send, we can load Ukraine up with this equipment. Now you have the second issue. Who is supposed to operate this equipment? Because Ukraine's out of people. They're out. Okay? So the war is basically, it's over. And what Vladimir Putin, you have Zelensky, he comes over here. We're gonna lay all this out, right? Because you remember the drama, but that's the only thing you get from our media. So remember, Zelensky comes over here and Trump tosses his ass out. And as I have said, the entire time Trump, because we've played the videos from Colonel McGregor. We've played the videos from Tucker Carlson. All right. We know how angry Zelensky gets when we talk about him, the proxy war and the laundromat and the corruption and selling our equipment. We know how angry he gets. But he gets thrown out of here. And I'm going to tie this together. Where does he go? He runs straight to the UK and he waves to Donald Trump. I'm over here. And they embrace him, right? They embrace him. They hug him. They welcome him in. And Stammer, or whatever his name is, the Prime Minister of the UK, looks at him on video and says, "We are prepared to do anything and back you with everything you need." Red carpet. Why would they do that? And then Macron down there in France. Let me try that again. Macron down there in France. Little Napoleon, right? Little short Napoleon. Got a complex. He is, I'm going to put troops. I'm going to get the French Foreign Legion. I'm going to get the troops. We're on our way. So he's doing that. Zelensky's smiling. So Zelensky runs to Saudi Arabia, and he says, I'm going to take a 30-day deal. So, boom, this is where we're at. Now, Putin, Witkoff, right? Steve Witkoff? Witkoff, is that his name? We'll get there. He goes over there. We have a group go over there to Russia, and we're going to show you. Russia basically says, I have to have a deal with the West. So it's not Ukraine. It's you, I, Europe, Brussels, UK, France, Germany. He has to have a deal. That's the peace agreement that has to be worked out. That Ukraine, he already has that. if he wishes to take every bit of it. Now, with that being said, and he wants a deal, he says he wants peace. We're trying to make a deal. But Putin says, no, wait a minute. I'm not going to just give you a ceasefire. Why not? Well, let's start with our media, because you remember what I showed you yesterday? Diane, we do a little jumping around, but number 46, right? Remember the map. We will be coming back to the map. Have the map available. And remember we showed you yesterday, right there, Moscow, Ukraine, Belarus. Look at that border of Belarus and Poland, Belarus and Latvia, Ukraine. Now, we're going to talk about the map. Look down there at the Black Sea. Pay attention. Number 45, yesterday, because we're going to go into our media, and we're going to be going back to the map, right? And this is Russia. This is not our media. Lukashenko, I don't know those Ukrainian or whatever Belarus, Russian names, comes to Moscow for official visit, right? This is just 2 days ago. He's in Moscow. This guy shows up in Moscow. Everything is set in place for a reason. He shows up in Moscow for a visit. At the same time, our delegation is with Zelensky in Saudi Arabia. Pay attention. Now, he's up there. So this morning, our media, number 3, our media, and we're going to play the videos. Putin signals openness to ceasefire, but still has reservations. Now, you may find me to sound as though I agree with Vladimir Putin, and I want to live in North Georgia and enjoy the US of A. I don't want to go to Russia. But remember, Ukraine is corrupt. The parliament is corrupt. Remember that. Remember, Ukraine was and will continue to be if Zelensky's there and the parliament's there. It's been a corrupt country for years. He knows this. So part of his deal, so he has reservations. Obviously, you see that's CNN. Now give me number 48. That's basically the same thing. He signals. Let's go to, not 48. I meant, let's go to 5. I don't know why. I don't know where I'm at with my simple math today. Now, Putin signals openness to ceasefire reservations. Who is sitting next to Putin? Who is sitting next to Vladimir yesterday? So Zelensky goes down to Saudi Arabia. He meets with U.S., the prince. At the same time, Belarus president heads to Moscow. Yesterday, he comes out. Now, this means, here's what exactly this means. The Belarusian president, if that's how you say it, he is in Moscow when our delegation goes to Moscow. So our delegation, if they went to our delegation, go to meet with Witkoff. They go to meet with Russia, right? He is there. Belarus. I don't know if he is in the meetings, but let me tell you what, when Vladimir Putin does a press conference or addresses his parliament or whatever they have, the president of Belarus, that's their flag next to the Russian flag. He is with Putin as Putin discusses the ceasefire. Pay attention. Now, Let's see what else I have on a little bit of ceasefire. Here you go, number 12. Would a Putin-Trump conversation doom a ceasefire deal? Now, these people should go straight to prison. I'm sorry. I mean, they should immediately go. They should be rounded up. I know you didn't like rounded up. They should be placed in prison right now. Anyone, well, if Trump kills Putin, will that screw up the deal? No, I'm going to tell you what screwed up the deal there. Look. What did Rush used to say? Info babes? Those info babes? Putin says he supports ceasefire with Ukraine, but may need to call Trump. I'll tell you why he needs to call Trump. Because this is not about Ukraine, damn it. Excuse me. Them damn bastards. If Schumer was on here, he'd say, that's bastards. Sorry. That's just wrong. Let me get past that. Now, 17. I want you to pay attention to this. We're going to go back to the big map. All right. Russian control of Ukraine. So every single time we talk about a ceasefire, we talk about the area, the red area that is under Russian control. And I think, Diane, you can remember last year, I know it's 2024, it's just a couple months ago, but I mean way back, you can remember a segment, and I know you do, where I showed how Russia was surrounding the water. Remember? I said, if you'll look what Russia is doing, they are taking over the water access from Ukraine as much as they possibly can. So hang on there. Let's go to video 4. Putin.
I think that we need to talk about this with our American colleagues, partners, maybe call President Trump and discuss it with him. But the idea itself to end this conflict by peaceful means is supported by us.
Now, they want it to end. They want it to end. That's what he said. Now, you're going to come back and say, or not you, but they're going to come back and say, do you trust anything he says? Well, maybe when I'm done, you'll rethink that one. Give me video 3.
Pouring cold water on President Trump's initiative for an immediate ceasefire with Ukraine.
I would like to begin with words of gratitude to the US President, Mr. Trump, for paying so much attention to the settlement in Ukraine. We agree with the proposals to end hostilities, but we proceed from the fact that this end should be such that it would lead to a long-term peace and eliminate the root causes of this crisis.
In other words, the Russians want to hammer out a full peace deal before ending the fighting, even as the Trump administration says the shooting should stop immediately. The U.S. president had hoped Putin would fully endorse his proposal.
Now we're going to see whether or not Russia's there, and if they're not, it'll be a very disappointing moment for the world.
This as Russian forces say they've been making major gains in the Kursk region, Ukraine's last small foothold on Russian territory. Putin soldiers are now patrolling the streets in small towns leveled by the battles. There was fierce fighting here, the soldier says. Ukrainian troops brought in heavy equipment and shot at the building point blank. But the buildings are strong, the walls are strong, so the defense held up. Putin went on to say he has concerns that the Ukrainians will use a ceasefire to regroup and rearm if Moscow's troops take their foot off the gas now.
So these 30 days will be used how? So that forced mobilization continues in Ukraine? So that weapons are delivered there? So that units undergo training? Or if nothing of such sort will happen, then the question arises, how will the issue of control and verification be resolved? And how will we be guaranteed that nothing like this will happen?
While the Ukrainians have fully...
Now, agree or disagree? He wants the long term. What's the long term? I want peace. What's the long term? Are we going to sit down and talk about the root causes? Now, I showed you the video the other day. from the USSR, right? Was it 91? But I showed you the expansion. We showed you that video the other day. Diane, do you remember that video? Could you find it if you could? I showed you the other day the expansion of NATO. He has said all along that was part of the agreement. No more NATO expansion. We showed you that. What are the root causes? Ukraine is corrupt, very corrupt. Zelensky's corrupt. Before one tank from Russia rolls into Ukraine, Zelensky and their parliament and their people are corrupt. Now, what are we going to do with the 30 days? He's got to go. That's what you're going to see. Putin says he's got to go. What are we going to do with the 30 days? Because you got France and the UK saying, we're sending troops. So I stopped shooting these people for 30 days. I stopped killing these people. Okay. We stopped 30 days. Do you know, are you saying you need 30 days to move your troops in place? You need 30, because you've got NATO, you've got France, you've got the UK saying, we're ready to go. You have the UK standing up, right? He leaves, goes to London, and he waves to you and I and Trump, look where I am. And a man's outside Downing Street, number 10 Downing Street, saying, you have our full support. We're going to pour money, troops. Why is the UK so interested? I think I have that. But that's what they're over there doing. So Putin's like, oh, wait a minute. You want a ceasefire? 3 years. 3 years. You didn't want a ceasefire. 3 years. You poured all the military equipment you could pour in. You let, not me. You say, I killed them. You allowed these Ukrainians to be killed. You knew on a daily basis they were going to be killed by the thousands, and you allowed it. Not one peep from any of you wanting peace. But now, and you think I'm going to have peace with that guy and his crooked parliament? Well, Putin's crooked. Putin's a killer. Putin's this, Putin's that. Okay, well, I could see Zelensky's innocent. Now, moving right along on that, and Diane, I know I didn't send it over, and it's usually numbered, and it's hard to get to and stuff. But and I don't remember how many days ago we ran that, but if you do get it, let me know. Now,
I haven't.
Run this just for some background, okay? Is Putin saying, wait a minute, you're talking about Ukraine's talking about their securities. Where is, so run this little video.
Why did Russia invade Ukraine? The origins of this conflict date back to the fall of the Soviet Union. At the time, Moscow controlled a large part of Eastern Europe, forming a strategic shield against NATO. If an attack came, it could only pass through a narrow flat area in central Germany. But after 1991, the situation changed radically. NATO gradually expanded, integrating 1999, Poland, Hungary, Czech Republic, 2004, Bulgaria, Romania, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Slovakia, Slovenia between 2009 and 2020, Croatia, Albania, Montenegro, North Macedonia. Faced with this advance, Russia began to fear that Ukraine would join NATO, which would place a Western force 2,300 kilometers from its borders. For Moscow, this is a direct threat. Add to this historical, cultural, and political tensions, and Russia decides to act before it is too late. Security pretext or imperialist ambition? Tell me what you think.
All right, so give me number 53. We have to go around the world for just a moment. Wait a minute, Diane. Wait just a minute. I'm sorry. I want to give me 68. Let's go to 68. Now, this is from Russia. All right, this is from Russia. Russian news agency. U.S. envoy Witkoff already left Moscow. Earlier, Kremlin aide, whatever, said Russian President Vladimir Putin's meeting with Witkoff would take place when everything's ready for it. All right? When everything's ready. U.S. Special Presidential Envoy Steve Witkoff has already left Moscow. A source confirms he left on a plane. Earlier, Kremlin aide said Vladimir Putin said he would meet with him. You got to remember, he's meeting with Belarus. The U.S. envoy had arrived in Moscow on March 13th, according to the Flight Trader website. Witkoff's plane landed at the capital after departing from Moscow. So, Putin wants some guarantees, okay? And we're going to break this down. Give me number 66. Let's just put it up there, right? Now, this guy's over there. I tell you, you got to listen, all right? Ukraine to eventually come back to Russia, Belarus, the president says. It'll eventually just come back. That's what he said. He's the guy over there in the picture with Putin. He's the guy over there making a deal with Vladimir Putin. He's the guy, as we show you, number 46. Look where Belarus, right? Take a look at the map as we find our next one, right? Then there you go. See Belarus, Ukraine? He said, well, Ukraine will eventually come back. Number 67, Belarusian, I do have that correct, Belarusian president, this is from Russia, to speak before Russian senators on Friday. Right now, he is speaking before the Russian senators. He's very big part, geographically, on the map, part of the plan. Putin says, look, you get rid of. Now, so I keep hearing the minerals deal. The minerals deal, right? Give me number 63. This is our media, which cannot be trusted. I mean, we can't trust our media. So I keep hearing about the minerals deal, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm wondering, give me 53. I'm sitting here thinking, you know, everybody's talking about splitting up Ukraine. And everybody's talking about the spoils of war as though they won. U.S., UK, everybody, the spoils of war. The Ukraine minerals. And our companies going over there and developing it. Vladimir Putin's like, wait a minute. You didn't leave any blood over there. I won. I won. You didn't win. I won. So what do you mean you're going to come on my doorstep on one day and let them become NATO, and the second day I'm supposed to just say, you keep digging those minerals, you're welcome. Now, I don't know, but you're sitting over there in Russia like, okay, we have sacrificed. Ukraine was a part of Mother Russia, not the USSR, for 400 years. We won the war. If we move forward, we can clean up this thing. They have no more. I mean, we could wrap this thing up if you want to go on. But you get the minerals? You get the spoils of this war? You're the ones that prolonged it. The people are dead because You kept sending weapons in there for people to kill each other. I'm serious. I mean, you can hate this guy for all you want, but if I'm sitting in his shoes. So Putin suggests Russia won't accept Trump's plan for unconditional ceasefire. Russian President Vladimir Putin said in a press conference in Moscow Thursday that he needs more clarification. Why it matters. The U.S. and Ukraine have both endorsed an unconditional 30-day ceasefire on Tuesday that calls for all air and artillery strikes to stop. Putin raised doubts about the ideal and said any ceasefire should also be part of a process that addresses the root causes of the crisis. Now, part of his demand is there has to be elections. Now, we said weeks ago, Trump told you, maybe he's got to go. That's been laid out. That has been laid out for you. Now, if you keep listening to our media say, well, Zelensky was elected, he's a dictator, martial law, killing Christians, stealing your money, Parliament stealing your money, billions of dollars. Bottom line, let's go with this right here. Ukraine video 16, then we'll come right back. Video 16.
Ukrainians are not in the same category. They seem to be a rogue organization now. They're now running around threatening everyone that has criticized Ukraine or opposed support for Ukraine.
An Alex Jones staffer was just murdered 2 days ago, who was on some list put together by the Ukrainian government or its supporters of critics. He was murdered outside of his house. I mean, I don't think it's crazy to think, given the number of assassinations they've pulled off or attempted, that he was killed by them. You think that's possible?
Well, I would be very worried about our president. I think the president is very much at risk, and these people seem to know no sense of limitation. They're capable of anything. So I hope the Secret Service is on its toes. I'm sure Kash Patel is well aware of this, and the FBI. I just don't have any good feelings right now about the Ukrainians. I think they're done, they're finished, they've lost the war. So all of these are sort of acts of vengeance.
They lost the war. They're done, they're finished. You heard the guy himself. I brought it to you. I told you, right? Diane, you remember, I don't even know the day that I come here and I just said, who will be the first casualty of this war? Remember that? And that upset me because I called someone and I said, and it's not they didn't believe me, but I said, Alex Jones, best writer. Alex said it's his best writer on InfoWars. Gunned down right in front of his house. And he was on a Ukrainian hit list. And this person said, no, you're lying to me. I said, no, it's true. Go look it up. That happened. And as he said, I get worried about the president. Ukraine, Zelensky's done. His parliament's done. They're finished. They lost. Vladimir Putin sitting there saying, and you lost and you're taking the minerals? I'm telling you, you're going to see, I keep saying it over and over. Over and over, I keep saying it. All right, number 54. Critical minerals work, right? Here is a complete layout of the minerals in the country, all right? So remember this. I'm going to go with my last. I think this might be my. I'm wrapping this up. I promise. Give me 58. So you remember, right? The UK, he gets thrown out of the office. And now Scott Bessent goes over with a document. I'm getting ready to blow your mind. You better pay attention. I'm telling you, you better pay attention right now. Right this minute. Scott Bessent, our Treasury Secretary, right? I despise our media. He goes over there, he lays a document out. Zelensky's like, no, you don't understand. I got 6 offers for these minerals. Okay. It got very heated, Scott said. Then, right? Marco and J.D. Vance, they go to Germany, right? They meet with him. Got very heated. Not appreciative, remember? Then he comes to the United States. Then Stammer comes, right? Now, here's what you got to pay attention to, because I'm gonna lay it out. I'm going to show you in black and white, because Trump was telling the truth. You always could look days down the road, the development that Trump's telling the truth. Stammer's sitting, Macron's sitting there. Europe got guarantees. They got guarantees. We just gave away $350 billion. They're getting their money back. Oh, no, Mr. President, no. That's not exactly right. 2 days later, Stammer comes from the UK. Hey, we got taken advantage of, Trump. He's sitting right next to him. Trump don't give an SHI asterisk. Who's sitting there? He's going to look at the American people. Hey, we got taken. Biden, this brainless idiot, and he says it, the worst president ever, just sends them $350 billion. We got no guarantees at all. These people, they're getting their money back. Oh, no, Mr. President, I must. Stammer from the UK, I must correct you on that. No. Some of it was grants, Mr. President. So our media whips up what? They whip up the narrative that the UK, the EU, right, France, they correct Trump. Go back and look at it. Why they correct Trump. But they do not give you the correct information. Trump was right. Ready? So you remember, you think to yourself, Zelensky gets thrown out. He flies over to the UK. He waves at Trump and says basically, F you. Sorry to put it that way. All right. And he gets another $2 billion. And you're sitting there. He gets the red carpet. This is March 2nd. March 2nd, right? UK, another $2 billion. You're like, damn. Another $2. Why would you do that? And you're like, wait a minute. Is he selling minerals everywhere? Is he on a road show? I mean, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton can't hold this guy a light to go by. He's going around selling the minerals. So then, give me this one here. My God, I got to get out of this. Then, where's it at? I had it here a minute ago. Where is it at? Give me, let's see, give me number 56. I think that's the one I want. Nope, I don't want that one. I don't want that. Hold on. I'll give it to you in a minute. 50. No, I don't want 56. So I'm thinking to myself, then number 71, we'll throw this in the mix right now. I'm looking around the world. Ukraine ready to ratify free trade agreement with Turkey. A free trade agreement with Turkey. And, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky announced that Ukraine and Turkey as a key strategic and security partner, expressed readiness to ratify the free trade agreement during President Erdogan forthcoming visit. Security, free trade agreement, Turkey, Syria. This dude's out making deals everywhere. He lost the damn war. He's taking pictures. He's in group pictures. He lost the damn war. His people are dead. His country is demolished. He's out taking pictures everywhere. So I just can't wrap my head around this and say, wow, something's bad wrong here. It's bad wrong. So I'm looking around and I see this. Number 57. This is March 11th, just 2 days ago, right? Or 3 days. This is March 11th. Unclassified UK is the website. Britain wants Ukraine's minerals also. They want them. Free trade agreement, minerals. The guy lost the friggin' war. Ukraine doesn't really belong to him anymore. A couple days, Putin could give a press conference from Kiev. Britain wants Ukraine's minerals also. It's not just Trump. The UK views critical minerals as governmental priority and wants to open up Ukraine's vast resources to British corporations. How many damn times can he sell one rock? He's going all over. And he's got a suitcase. He takes a bag of money. So I'm thinking, what in the hell? And then this happens. Because I'm over here typing away, putting different keywords in. And this happens. Number 59. You ever heard of Hong Kong? You remember when the UK had a 100-year lease on Hong Kong? Remember that? I'll be damned if they didn't do the same thing. And they knew Biden was leaving. They knew. So what do? This is dated. You got to tell me I'm wrong. This is dated January 16th, 2025. The inauguration is January 20th. This is published. I don't know when it went down. 4 days before Trump swore in. UK, you're our greatest friends. You're our partners. You've always been our partners. We've never turned on each other. We've always had each other's backs through troubled times. We're the best of friends and always will be. The guys look at this. UK and Ukraine signed landmark 100-year partnership. This is from the government. This is their website. Partnership to deepen security ties and strengthen partnership for future generations. The UK and Ukraine will sign a historic partnership as the Prime Minister travels to the country to meet President Zelensky. The treaty will bolster military collaboration on the maritime security through the new framework to strengthen the Baltic Sea, the Black Sea, the Azov Sea security, and deter ongoing Russian aggression. Well, wait just a minute. I want to come back to that, Diane. Now, give me number 60. I want to come back to that one, so remember that one. Now, the red area, right? Now, this has been for quite some time. This is not new. The red area is Ukrainian territory now occupied, as they called it, by Russia. But look on the bottom where the Black Sea is and the Sea of Azov, whatever it is. You see those? Those will no longer be core water inlets for Ukraine. But in the 100-year deal, the UK is going to patrol those areas for Ukraine. And you think Vladimir Putin's okay? You think Vladimir Putin is okay with the UK making a 100-year Hong Kong deal? What the hell happened to us? You see, when you see this, number 59, right? When you see this, number 59, right here, And we'll bring together experts to advance scientific and technology partnerships in areas such as healthcare and disease, agritech, space and drones, and building lifelong friendships through classroom projects. The new UK-built grain verification. What? So, Stammer's sitting there, the French are sitting there, and Stammer's sitting there bragging about us being best friends. And Trump's saying to you, he's saying to you, CNN, Fox, everybody, look, we got screwed. Do you understand? They're getting their money back. Oh no, Mr. President, that's not exactly true. And then Caitlin Collins runs in with CNN, with Anderson Cooper. Anderson today, the UK Prime Minister, corrected Trump right in the Oval Office, as he shared with you and I, because we believe everything they say because we hate America. Trump's sitting there saying, people, you got screwed. They get their money back. They have a deal. Biden was asleep. They made a deal. We gave it away. And Trump says, look, Scott Bessent, you go over there and you tell them there'll be no Ukraine if we don't get in front of this. Zelensky's out there, hey, give me some more money. He runs over from the U.S. He runs over there, gets his ass thrown out. He runs over there and he says, hey, we got a deal, and I'm getting pressure from across the pond. Need a couple more $1 billion on that loan. Wink, wink. You remember? 100 years, the Hong Kong deal, basically, that we signed with you. You can't make this up. So, give me... But I'm not to believe anything that comes out of Vladimir Putin's mouth. Okay, so number 56, here they are together. This is part of an article that I've been reading. Stammer and Zelensky in Kiev in January when they signed a 100-year partnership in January. He calls him up. Look, we're both about to get screwed. All right, Zelensky, you have that perfect phone call with Trump. He went through impeachment. You're done, Zelensky. The only thing that can save you is me. Now, you give me Ukraine in what we call a 100-year partnership agreement. We call it the Hong Kong agreement around here. Give me number 55. And I'll do what I can. Because, see, if we were to go after, whether you believe it or not, British-Ukrainian partnership, the 100-year deal, if we were to go after Ukraine, the UK would go to NATO and say they're going after us. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Putin is the bad guy. That's the bad guy in all of this. Give me number 70. Italy has pushed back, right? Italy has pushed back. Number 70, right there. Italy to boycott UK-France lead meeting on UK. Prime Minister reportedly believes that London and Paris are rushing ahead to promote deploying troops to the country. Putin said, look, he's got to go. He's gone. We're going to nullify that deal with the UK. You're not putting troops in here, and I'm not giving you 30 days to regroup. It's not going to happen. Don't forget number 71. At the same time, he's out making deals everywhere. You got a little guy's got nerve. He's got nerve. He lost the war. His people are dead. He's out there shaking hands. Now, number 73, Saudi Arabia. And we'll end this segment, which is quite lengthy. Number 65, Saudi Crown Prince Putin discuss bilateral cooperation in Ukraine conflict. Interesting. The Saudis seem to be everywhere right now. And number 65. China, Russia, Iran agree to boost coordination within international organizations. Wow. Iran, China, and Russia working together. And one more time, I know I got to get out, but let me just show you this. Give me number 46. Don't forget, as we look at the map, you can go back, look at this segment. You'll see Poland, Belarus, Ukraine, Moldova, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Slovakia, Hungary. Don't forget Ukraine, right? They attacked the pipeline that sent crude oil for Slovakia and Hungary, that they buy from Russia. Don't forget, Putin is the bad guy. All right, Diane, I better get out. We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Days Chevrolet Jasper is North Georgia's business elite commercial truck giant. Box trucks, landscape trucks, flatbed and heavy hauling trucks. When you've got a job to do, we've got the commercial truck for you. And get a federal tax credit up to 100% of the purchase price. Hundreds of commercial trucks are all right here at Days Chevrolet Jasper. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
Okay, folks, I'm back. BKP, you're watching BKP Politics on Voice of RuralAmerica.com. Diane, I got to see if I can lighten the mood here on Friday. I got to see. All right, I sent a video, and I can't go into it right now. You're going to be like, you can't just leave us hanging. But I sent a video to a professional, and I asked them to review it for me and tell me. Because the one thing, oh, by the way, I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Hi, Diane. I hope you're doing well. Now, everything, and I mean everything I do on this program, I will go to leading authorities, all right, and ask, am I going in the right direction? So I sent a video to someone that I consider a leading authority and said, will you watch this and tell me if I'm headed in the right direction? And they texted me back and said, unfortunately, you are probably correct on all accounts. I will tell you what that means later. And I agree with this individual. Unfortunately, I don't want to be. I don't want to be. But unfortunately, you're probably correct on all accounts. So we'll go into that later. At 10 o'clock, the Georgia Hour. Diane, I don't want to do this segment. I set it up at 8 a.m. And I have to tell you right now, if I did not set this up at 8 a.m. this morning, I would probably just say, you know, Diane, let's take the rest of the day off, enjoy the weekend. I really would, because I don't want to do this on Friday. At 10 a.m., the Georgia Hour, I'm going to lay out. Georgia's not Trump country. They laugh at MAGA in your face. They make a mockery at MAGA in your face. And they show Donald Trump no respect in MAGA face. All right, that's at 10 o'clock. Now, I asked this question yesterday because, you know, here on the program, I look into the future. Diane, you think I can make some money as a fortune teller? We're trying to raise revenue. Anyhow, so I look into the future and I ask why. Why? And here's what I come up with. So Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, and he is putting himself right into Georgia as hard as he can and trying to put all of his little Kirkettes in Georgia as hard as he can to try to get Josh McCoon reelected. Is Charlie Kirk part of the deal that was made? Now, listen to me really close. There's two things I want to know. Now, we all know Trump went down to Valdosta, right? Trump had the rally in Atlanta. Brian Kemp said, that's what he said. Didn't show up at the airport. Marty, Brian, and the girls didn't shake the president, the nominee of the party's hand. Did not go up to Atlanta and say, let's get out for this. Didn't do it. And, Trump's like, where the hell's this guy at? Now, if you land in a state that you have an opposing governor, you land in Wisconsin and you got Ebers and he's drunk. That's the Wisconsin governor. He's drunk, right? But you got Ebers up there. He doesn't come to the airport. We get it. You go to Pennsylvania where somebody's going to take a shot at you. Whew, wow. Maybe that shouldn't have been said. But you go there, Shapiro's not going to meet you at the airport. Yeah, I get it. We all understand that. Only if you're Obama and you land in New Jersey 2 weeks before an election, does the great white whale Chris Christie show up and give you one of those big, we used to call it a bear hug, but I call it a whale hug from Chris Christie. That's it. So that being said, Trump lands. Kemp says, whatever. Trump gets angry. It blows up, and he gets blown up. And Kemp is sitting at home laughing. I won't say he's drinking because I don't know that he drinks. Then a couple weeks later or whatever, after media writes all these articles, the feud, okay? The Hatfields and McCoys right here at Georgia. It's called the Trumps and the Kemps over a pig. Then they end up in Valdosta after the hurricane, and they shake hands. But we know there's a deal. We know a deal has been made. What was the deal? Now, the reason I say that, we're going to be developing that theory. We're going to be looking into it. We're going to be laying out some of the puzzle pieces. So, is Trump now Kemp friendly? Will Trump get out of the way for Brian Kemp? Now, write that down today because this is going to come back later. Right? Now, will there be two Donald Trumps? Well, I know. I've got the one viewer out there, and I know who it is, and I absolutely love this viewer, but I'm probably going to get a message like, there's 8 or 9 doubles. I get it. So, yes, there's two Donald Trumps, but in reality, will there be the pre-2026 Donald Trump and then the post-2026 Donald Trump? The President Trump before midterms, the President Trump after midterms. Will he change knowing he's almost out? Or will he do certain things to try to continue with J.D. Vance? Will J.D. Vance be the nominee? What's the deal? Now, is Charlie Kirk with Turning Point USA, because it's a profit organization. Now, look, I like profit, but you got to understand, Turning Point USA is a profit organization. It's an NGO, non-governmental organization that I'm not saying they get money from the government, but it's a profit nonprofit / raises money organization. It's a very wealthy organization. So is Charlie Kirk part of the plan in Georgia for 2028? Why is he endorsing? How come he's endorsing Josh McCoon? And I know we'll get into it in the Georgia Hour, but this is important right now nationally. Why is he endorsing our GOP chair? Why now? So, what's the deal? Could Josh McCoon and Charlie Kirk in 2028 help magnify Brian Kemp? All right, now get your ass up off the floor, okay? Get your ass up off the floor, dust yourself off, sit down, take a deep breath. One more time. Number 44. Could Charlie Kirk be laying the groundwork now with Turning Point USA to magnify Brian Kemp? Oh, that blew your ass clear away. Because now you're like, oh, man, I knew he was up to something. I got it. I got it. Trust me. Now, the other question I have before I get into the great correction and the economy, because we will before we close this up for Friday. Now, I asked you the other day, I'm not attacking these people, but it's America. We're going to ask the questions. And I like this right here. I found this because I thought the same thing. I'm like, great minds, whoever this is. Why is Charlie Kirk helping Gavin Newsom clean up his image? Because they are backed by the same people. Now I found that. Just saying. That's out there. That is being discussed. Now, Gavin Newsom sets up a podcast. Charlie Kirk goes on the podcast. It's entertaining if you listen to it. If you get the sound bites, that's what they want. Any of these podcasts, what they do is they run for those sound bites. It's entertaining. But why would he help Gavin Newsom change his image? Now, he would argue and say, I'm not doing that, but he is. Is he intentionally creating the frenzy necessary to be profitable when Newsom runs against J.D. Vance? Just think about it. Now, here's the other one. Number 43. Why would Steve Bannon normalize Gavin Newsom? Well, you didn't listen. Bannon, they had some real back and forth. Oh, that's amazing. I bet that was almost like one of those House conference committees for entertainment in the afternoon, right? Maybe like, when Marjorie Taylor Greene screams, or Crockett, that lady, the whatever, she screams at the camera, or AOC screams at the camera, or Kennedy down in Louisiana talks about, he used to have coon dogs, and this theory you're giving him just don't hunt, all that stuff, those sound bites. So maybe some sound bites were created, but why would he normalize Gavin Newsom for 2028? What is happening here? Oh, I'm going to be on it like a hound dog. Oh, I'm going to be on it. Why is he trying to normalize it? Now, why would he make this comment? And these are all the wonders why for the weekend. Number 42. Why would Steve Bannon make a comment? I think he's serious. Bannon won't rule out a presidential run in 2025. Now, What if Kemp is on the ticket in 2028? Top or bottom, you pick. What if he's on the ticket in 2028? Just saying. I think he's serious. Bannon won't rule out a presidential run in 2028. He was floated as a potential candidate. Steve Bannon isn't taking 2028 off the table. In a profanity-laced interview on Wednesday with Politico, the MAGA firebrand repeatedly refused to rule out a presidential bid, as GOP sources close to him are increasingly speculating he is serious about running should Donald Trump himself not campaign for a third term. Now, I don't know. I didn't listen to this interview, but why would you say you're not taking it off the table? Why would you already be scratching through J.D. Vance? Why wouldn't you make a comment? Let's see how J.D. Vance does in the next several months, that we may be able to get behind him as our 2028 nominee. I'm just telling you, something's up. You got it? Something's up. Everything does not appear as it should in Denmark. Is that correct? I don't know. Anyhow, moving right along. Now, the economy. We talked about the ceasefire. Tonight, we are going to avoid the shutdown, the drama that has been created. The EPA. All right, so they're going nuts. Let me tie this together. First of all, the shutdown, number 19. The EPA. Now, they're losing it. Oh, that's 19. Yeah. Here is the House GOP continuing resolution. Funds the government through September 30th. Remember that. September 30th. Funds the government. So you could rest assured as you go to bed this evening on the weekend and enjoy basketball, as I will be watching also. Number 6, Lee Zeldin. We played you the video yesterday. We're on the cutting edge. We played this for you yesterday. I knew they were going to lose it. Now, this is part, I'll call it the trifecta. Maybe it's a quad. Is it a quad or a quin? We'll go with a trifecta. But as I was talking to my good friend Madonna in Canada yesterday, now what Lee Zeldin did is he is making with the EPA America conducive for manufacturing once again. Biden made sure it was out. No, you don't want to manufacture here. So worldwide investment need 3 things. They need tariffs to scare the hell out of them. They need a tax incentive, and they need regulations gone in several ways. And if they get 3 things, tariffs scare the hell out of them, it's cheaper to be over here. A tax incentive, that means they want to invest and build over here. And regulations relaxed, because regulations keep manufacturing out of this country. Tax structure keeps it out of this country. And God knows tariffs and free trade to Mexico and Canada, where our jobs have basically left and gone, keeps them out of this country. So it's a trifecta. It's called the real economy. So yesterday, this is part of Trump's plan. Trump administration guts pollution and climate rules and rapid fire deregulation. And they want to lead you to believe that Trump, cancer is going to increase, and it's going to increase in children and the water supply. I mean, all this nonsense. And then give me number 7. And you have Lee Zeldin ended. He rolled back the most aggressive in history. Absolutely the most aggressive rollback in history. Environmental justice offices closed. They are closed. Environmental justice offices closed. So that is part of the plan. Cutting, well, I said trifecta. Give me number 20. Cutting back on wasteful spending. Federal agencies hit hardest percentage of staff cut. HUD, education, USAID right now, Veterans Affairs, Social Security. Hardest hit. We're going to cut wasteful spending, go after fraud and abuse, right? So now, that being said, we have the stock market, and they're losing it on the stock market. Yesterday, Trump was asked, are you going to bend on the tariffs April 2nd? Video 1.
Any chances that you will ban on the tariffs on the aluminum and the ones that are planned for April 2nd?
No.
You are not going to change your mind?
Not. Look, we've been ripped off for years, and we're not going to be ripped off anymore. No, I'm not going to bend at all. Aluminum or steel or cars, we're not going to bend.
Now, you know who he's sitting next to? Now, all the decisions, I told you this, Trump has guts. Now, I'm just saying he has guts. The guy flat out has the guts. Wow. Where's it at? He's sitting next to 25. He says this, and he's sitting there. Hold 25. Now, no, he's not going to bend. That's okay. That's my fault. NATO Secretary General. Trump's sitting next to him in the Oval Office. He's going to go right back to Brussels. He's not even going to wait. He's going to call Ursula at the EU. And he's going to say, what are we going to do? Trump is making the decisions in D.C. Did anyone cover with him all decisions are made in Brussels? Why does Trump keep coming out and saying the EU screwed us? I said this years ago. The decisions are made in Brussels, remember? They're going to freak. He's sitting next to him on purpose. He's not afraid. Call Ursula. I don't care what she says. Give me video 2.
Useless, but once again promise blue skies ahead.
We don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We have more than they do. We don't need anything. We don't need their cars. I'd much rather make the cars here. And there's not a thing that we need. Now, there'll be a little disruption, but it won't be very long.
Now,
Diane, give me number 14. You know, you wanted Trump to say, little disruption. They're freaking out. I'm going to explain little disruption. I have all week. I want to remember, in that video, when he was rattling off the list of things we don't need, you wanted him to go right into badges. We don't need no stinking badges. I wanted Trump to say that, but he stayed presidential. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. We don't need your badges to build our cars. We don't need your lumber. All right, anyhow, Trump's correct. We don't need it. Don't need it. In the Northwest, we can cut our own lumber. We can get rid of that. We can cut the lumber up in the Northwest. We can make deals right now. All right. We need to build a refinery. I will say that. We need a new refinery in this country. Now, that being said, cars, we'll just bring them back from Canada and Mexico. We'll make it so bad on that they'll come home. Come home. The prodigal car companies will come home. Got it? And we will welcome them back. We will. He's sitting right next to the guy that's going to call Ursula. Now, what does Trump do? yesterday, March 13th, yesterday, when he's sitting right next to the guy that works down the hall from Ursula at the EU, the European Union, one of the most hostile and abusive taxing and tariff authority in the world, which was formed for the sole purpose of taking advantage of the United States. I guess I am correct. Let me just go say it. I guess right now, you know, if you watch the show, I'm correct. Donald Trump told you I have been correct all along. I told you years ago, the decisions are made in Brussels. Right? I got tape. What'd he say? Formed sole purpose of taking advantage of the United States. Bottom line. What did I tell you happened in 2016? Trump tried to bring the decision back to America. It's that simple. And they freaked, and they got him. But America said, you know what? And he said, this time, I'm going to bring it back. If it doesn't kill me first. I threw that in. I had to. If this tariff is not removed immediately, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on your wine. Oh, the little French guy. Ah, the little French guy. Wine. France and other EU represented countries. This will be great for the wine and champagne business. Ah, listen over there, Papa Cork. Told you. Now, we're going to, you hear short-term disruption. And we talked about the eggs. And here you go. They're trying to get this guy to quit. 32. We've done extensive work on Musk this week. Tesla's latest decline could be one for the history books. He's lost what? Billions? 763 billion of market cap. I don't understand all that stuff. It's above your pay grade. I would never say that about myself. Number 33, stocks tumble into correction as investors sour on Trump. We're talking about a stock market. Now, what the stock market's doing, and I'm going to say this as the correction, what the stock market is actually doing right now before your very eyes, where they call it a correction, is they are adjusting and preparing for the shift. Every state, every municipality, every stock on the market, all right, everyone. Now, schools, this is getting ready to stop. I'm going to throw this in a mix. I'm going to wrap it up. It all goes together. You remember when Donald Trump used to do the weave? Remember? But, this is the weave. This is the Trump weave. Number 9, the stock slide. This is getting ready to happen. I have it here. Where is it at? We talked about education. Where's it at? I had it earlier today where CNN was crying. Oh, here it is. Number 21, right? And there you go. 20 states sued Trump over deep cuts to the Department of Education. Number 50, right? Number 50, cash for flunkers. Yes. City education budget already tops $41 billion. Now failing educrats. Oh, I like that. That was catchy. Educrats demand hundreds of millions more. Cash for flunkers. Right? Now give me 51. Now, I don't know if this is 100%. I just threw it in the AI machine. So this is what AI told me. Chicago public schools spend approximately $29,000 per student in the current school year, a figure that has nearly doubled in the past decade. In 10 years, it doubled. Doubled in 10 years. In the last 4 years. You need billions of dollars for some plexiglass? Sure. Start an NGO, put $100 in a bank account. We'll send you a couple million to get you started. So what the stock market is doing with this correction, bottom line, it's adjusting to the fact that the ball is going to turn from printed money from the government that is stolen in billions of dollars, contracts canceled. It's going to stop, and we're going to catch up with this. And I don't mean Heinz catch up, but give me video 9.
We're focused on the real economy. Can we create an environment where there are long-term gains in the market and long-term gains for the American people? I'm not concerned about a little bit of volatility over 3 weeks.
He's focused on the real economy. We have done segment after segment on the real economy. He's focused on the privatized real economy driving the engine. And he's not going to panic over 3 weeks. And I agree with him. Do not panic. All right, before I go to break and come back for the Georgia Hour, do I have anything? Oh, yeah, I want to put this up. Today is historic. I know some of you out there, you're very upset. And I'll put it like this. You're very upset over the DOJ. Some of you not as upset with Kash Patel, but Pam Bondi, number 24. Now, there's only been 2 other times the President of the United States has visited the DOJ. And that was Barack Obama was there apparently for an Eric Holder retirement party. Let me translate. Eric Holder's retiring, okay. Who was the lady that met Kemp? Who was the after AG? What was her damn name? Oh, this is going to sink me right here, right? Loretta Lynch? Was that her name? Is she the one, Loretta Lynch? Was that her name that took over from Eric Holder? Can you check that out? I need a price check on aisle 5. Anyhow, Obama went over to the DOJ when Eric Holder left, wink, wink, and had a retirement party, wink, wink. And Obama needed to give him his marching orders, right, for the Democrat redistricting committee, which he's a part of. He sent him out, and Loretta Lynch to take over. So they had to transfer a power party calling a retirement. But Obama went then, and George W. went to the Department of Justice one time for a ribbon cutting or something. But Trump is going to give a speech, and I don't know what time today. Trump plans law and order speech at Department of Justice. So let me just say to you, relax, number 1, right? Relax. Number 2, relax. And number 3, is this where things turn at the DOJ? We shall see. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. It'll be time for the Georgia Hour. And it's not going to be entertaining because it's about Georgia and the lack of support for Donald Trump. Take a break.
Days Chevrolet Jasper is North Georgia's business elite commercial truck giant. Box trucks, landscape trucks, flatbed and heavy hauling trucks. When you've got a job to do, we've got the commercial truck for you. And get a federal tax credit up to 100% of the purchase price. Hundreds of commercial trucks are all right here at Days Chevrolet Jasper. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state of the art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second to none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching the Georgia Hour on voiceofruralamerica.com. Hope you're enjoying your Friday. Now, I opened up in the first part of our program this morning before the Georgia Hour, letting you know that in this hour today, I regret to say I'm going to highlight the lack of respect from Georgia legislators for President Donald Trump. And the only reason I'm going to show you this today, it just got so upsetting yesterday because I'm checking off what's happening, and I'm like, are you guys going to do anything? I mean, guys and gals down there under the gold dome, are you going to do anything that shows support for President Trump and his agenda? Now, distractions. So I want to say early on here in this hour how much I respect that the very first day or immediately Donald Trump signed an executive order determining that God gave us two sexes, two genders, period, male and female. All right. Thank you. I want to say how I'm so excited that Donald Trump signed an executive order saying that he wants boys out of girls' sports. Thank you. All right. I really appreciate that. You do know those are our God-given rights. We actually didn't need, I appreciate Donald Trump, the president, but we did not need that legislation actually to say that's God's creation, that's God's intent. We should recognize that and not have to turn God's creation into a law or an executive order. You do realize that we're taking the creation that God made perfect, male, female, and said the only way we can acknowledge that and move forward is an executive order. And that's not against Donald Trump. We know what happened, okay? But I greatly appreciate what he did. I appreciated the State of the Union when he said, all right, you are perfect just the way God created you. I appreciate that. But in Georgia, we do things for political stunt reasons. Now, before Trump gets a second term, before that, okay, we had in Georgia, now you got to remember these are legislators for the most part. We don't have time to pass judgment and find out who's Christian and who's Muslim and who prays and who does not. And who cares, right? But in Georgia, we would still say the majority or most of these legislators from the governor's office all the way down would say God, Christian, uphold the Holy Bible, whatever you want to say. But the God-given, why do you wait? Why do you wait to do the right thing? If today the right thing is on Friday, why would you wait till next Thursday knowing today it was the right thing to do? Why would you wait to do the right thing next Thursday when you could do it today knowing that you could save someone's life? All the above. But see, several years ago, and I'm going somewhere with this, all right? I'm gonna wrap all this tight. Several years ago, Will Wade comes out with the parents' parental rights. I think it was about 6 pages, 5 pages or something. 5 pages. Now, tort reform will get 70 pages, all right? SB 144, 50 pages. All these gambling, 50 pages. Regardless, 50 parents' rights, God-given rights, got a 5-page. Now, years ago, we the people in Georgia went to our lawmakers and said, stop. Do not allow boys and girls sports. And our lawmakers said, okay, we're going to give the decision to, not a law, to GHSA, the Georgia High School Athletic Association, right? Sports Association, whatever. We're going to give it to GHSA. We're going to let them create the rule. So GHSA, several years ago, voted to say, our rule is do not let biological boys or let children play in a sport that is different from their birth certificate or whatever, right? That was the rule. But then once they were pushed on the rule, they had to tell school districts, well, it's not the law. So we did have this happening in Georgia. Why? Because lawmakers in Georgia had to wait for the timing to be right for a political stunt. Now, I don't want boys and girls sports, but this year, I like Riley Gaines. I'm not anti-Riley Gaines, so don't say that or put it out there. But this year, SB 1 over in the Senate, Riley Gaines over in the House, we're all excited we're going to stop boys from girls sports. And Donald Trump will certainly cheer for that. That's a given. It's a political stunt. Now, we spent more time. This is the second thing. I am not. Okay? Now, the drive-by media, Rush used to call it, and the storm chasers, all right, and the people that sensationalize things, there was a time. Hey, by the way, can someone do a wellness check on Debbie Dooley? There was a time in the state of Georgia that I would work with Debbie Dooley on battling legislation, bad legislation. We'd go after it as hard as we could. Now, how she is, if this is being funded, because Debbie will swear she's suing you, and that's not what this segment's about. But it seems like in the last 2 years, Debbie Dooley's major goal is to attack someone. So somehow she's given the assignment, go after this person. Okay. Go after this person. Okay. So while years ago, you know it out there, while we should be battling, and I'm going to show you these bills, we've got a group of storm chasers over here, and they're going through, boys and girls sports. We got another group that can't stop saying Colton Moore. I support Colton Moore. Don't get out there and start, oh my God. No, I support State Senator Colton Moore. I paid the price for it, trust me. All right, with the Georgia GOP Inc., because Josh McHugh doesn't support Colton Moore at the end of the day. Another story in itself. But another segment, they spent, right, all this time, that's all you've seen on the internet with the storm chasers. Now, I'm going to give you the bills that no one, well, when I say no one, it really, people didn't pay attention to. Here's number 86. So we spent hours. So we got the group of storm chasers over here. We got the group of storm chasers that everything they do is House staffer who tackled Georgia senator won't be arrested. Now, could this have overshadowed? Like, if this would have never happened, would we maybe have some of the, storm chasers, lawnmower operators, whatever, looking at real things in Georgia, the legislation, the no, we don't support Trump legislation, but no, we've got ours in this. And I've reported on it. And again, for the record, I like Colton Moore. I didn't like this, but I know the time it occupied. Then I won't go down this road, but take that down. And then when you have someone else, when you have someone else that, used to fight legislation. Debbie Dooley's attacking, right? Sophia Farouk, is that her name? Down in Cobb County, that's running for chair. Now, I'll look you in the camera. I don't know. But boy, are you telling me Debbie's just doing it just because? I would like to know if she receives any revenue from anyone. Maybe Sally Grubbs can tell us. Sally, can you tell us if you know anything about it, the current chair? But she spends her time attacking this candidate. Now, we're supposed to be MAGA. Trump won by like 2% in this state. Should have won by 7%. Now, these people are all supposed to be MAGA. How come they're not freaking out, I'll use that, at our legislature and saying, what the hell's wrong with you damn people? I'm going to give you 3 examples. 3, okay? Now, the first one is very upsetting to me. Very upsetting. Diane, give me... It passed the... It passed the Senate and it went over to the House. Where's it at, Diane? Give me number 37. So here's the first one, right? We're not MAGA. We are a state-run, deep state, foreign investment, and lobbyist. Deep state, foreign investment, and lobbyist. So I live in a county that probably voted 80% for Donald Trump. Diane lives in a county that probably voted, we'll throw 80 out. So we might be 76, 78, 80. But that's where we live. Keep that in mind. Then I'm going to show you how our lawmakers voted. All right? And yours. Number 37. Now, this is Roundup. Okay? And I am not your top chemist. I'm not a chemist. It's not what God, I told you, chemistry is not what God intended in my life. But pesticide fight, the battle over the popular pesticide known as Roundup has made its way to the Georgia legislature, prompting a fierce debate about how to protect both the food supply and public health. But as of last week's vote in the state Senate shows, Georgia's agriculture industry likely has enough power to push the bill past. So this is SB 144 is where it started, right? And my state senator, Steve Gooch, voted yes on this. Okay, you talk about yours, I'm going to talk about mine. My state senator, Steve Gooch, voted yes on this. Now, you out there heard the argument after argument after argument of the farmer versus blah. The farmer versus, and the farmers wanted this bill. Okay? SB 144 would protect companies from lawsuits if their product displayed a label approved by the United States Environmental Protection Agency. The EPA has said that glyphosate, the main ingredient in Roundup, is safe to use as directed. Now, the bill contains an expectation for companies that knowingly exemption for companies that knowingly withhold information about the health risk. So that's Roundup. Glyphosate, all right? Now, who is this? This is Monsanto's. You keep hearing Monsanto's. That would be Bayer Pharmaceuticals, right? Give me number 39. Now, in 2016, the German company Bayer acquired Monsanto. Do you know that based on Bayer's parent company building, I think I'm saying this off the top of my head, building during World War II in Germany, helping build concentration camps. That Bayer was it Miles Pharmaceutical? I'm just doing this off the top of my brain. Miles Pharmaceutical. Bayer was not able to operate under their name in the U.S. for years. They had to do some finagling, and it wasn't till somewhere around the 90s that Bayer could actually operate as Bayer Pharmaceutical in this country. Bayer acquired Monsanto's, a U.S.-based biotech company, in a deal around $66 billion. All right. And that's just a little brief history. Now, this bill went over to, and you see was it glyphosate or what it's called? It went over to the House. So let's get this done. And yesterday, give me number 38. All right. So if a bill leaves the Senate and goes to the House and there's no amendments on it, no changes, and they vote on it as is, it's done. So for those of you out there, SB 144, the only thing you can do right now is beg the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, not to sign it, to veto it. That's it. That's it. Now, if the farmers, you've heard the story, the farmers involved, Brian Kemp's relationship with the farmers, it's unlikely he vetoes it, but if you want your next plan of action, if there is one, got to go for the veto. All right. It passed 101 to 58. Now, you deal with your state senator, you deal with your state representative. And my representative, if you go down through there in the green, you get to Chastain, and that's my state representative, and he voted yes, right? Voted yes. Now, okay. So, many of you have seen give me number 40. RFK Jr. despises glyphosate. Okay. RFK Jr., how I got Monsanto's to pay billions. RFK Jr., the harmful effects of glyphosate. Roundup, press, Roundup, Senator Alsabrook grills RFK Jr. Robert Kennedy Jr. on suing Monsanto's and the dangers of glyphosate, Monsanto's Roundup lawsuit, March 2025. So, Donald Trump brings RFK Jr. on board. Who negotiated the deal? Tucker Carlson, right? So Tucker Carlson with Callie and Casey, right? Callie and Casey, the brother and sister, negotiates the deal. RFK Jr., independent, goes to Mar-a-Lago, ends up on the stage with Trump, and Trump says, I'm going to let him go wild, just don't touch my liquid gold under the ground and do what you want, Robert. Make America healthy again. Right? Then he keeps his promise and he names him HHS Secretary. Maha. Make America healthy again. Mothers. Maha Mothers packed his hearing. Maha Mothers. Democrats, independents, voted for Trump. Bringing this guy, probably Trump, over the top. Georgia totally ignored it. Now, I'm going to play two videos. The second one, Diane, I didn't tell you. I can't remember. I watched it yesterday. Video 14. It is Joe Rogan, so I can't remember if it slips in one of the sentences if you want to put the bad word. But let's go with video 13 first.
I've probably brought more lawsuits against EPA than any other attorney. When I sued Monsanto, we came across discovery documents that showed that it was an email exchange between the executive officers of Monsanto Corporation with the head of the pesticide division of the EPA for over a decade, a very well-known man named Jess Rowland. He was really secretly working for Monsanto, and they were telling him in these emails, you have to kill this study, you have to falsify this science. We went into court with about 2,400, mainly home gardeners, who had gotten non-Hodgkin's lymphoma from using Roundup. And in the first case, we won $289 million from the jury. The second case, we won $89 million. In the first two cases, the judge would not allow us to show that letter, that email exchange to the jury. But in the third case, the judge allowed us to do it. And we asked the jury for $1 billion, and they came back with $2.2 billion. And that forced Monsanto finally to come to the table.
My mom is a survivor of double-hit lymphoma cancer. My mom spent most of her life outside with her flowers, her gardens, spraying, killing weeds. I don't know. Now, this one is on Joe Rogan, Monsanto, Joe Rogan. Give me video 14. I don't know how long. I know this is 8 minutes. I don't think we're playing 8 because I've got to get to the other areas. So give me number 14 for just a moment.
Monsanto. There's many diseases that are linked to glyphosate exposure, including non-alcoholic fatty liver cancers are very closely linked. A lot of kidney diseases, and then severe damage to the microbiome because it's designed to kill plants, and there are structures in your gut biome that are critical structures in your gut biome, which have plant-like metabolisms which are destroyed by glyphosate. And so, you know, what happened is glyphosate was originally developed as a tank scalant. So to scale the calcium and other deposits, metal deposits, rust deposits from the inside of, underground tanks. And in 1973, Monsanto had to stop producing DDT because, we passed the laws at that time, and that was its flagship product. It needed another product. And it figured out that glyphosate, somebody at some point apparently threw some glyphosate on the, out in the back in the yard, and everything green died where they touched it, where it touched the glyphosate. And so somebody said, oh, this will be a good herbicide because it kills all plants. So originally, Monsanto developed it as a herbicide, but the way that it was applied initially from 1973 to 1993 was in backpack sprayers. So guys would walk down the corn rows early in the season when the corn was competing with nearby weeds for sunlight, and they would shoot the individual weeds. And then in 93, somebody figured out a way that glyphosate, that there was certain bacteria that glyphosate would not kill. And they said we could take a gene out of that bacteria and put it into a corn seed and develop a corn that cannot be killed by glyphosate. So they developed Roundup Ready corn. And that corn, you can pour glyphosate all over it and it will do nothing to it. So now you could fire all of those workers who were expensive, and you hire one airplane and they fly over the fields. They saturate the entire landscape with glyphosate. Everything dies except the Roundup Ready corn. And within a couple of years, Roundup Ready corn was now on 90% of the corn, 95% of the corn in the United States is now Roundup Ready corn. And so, but it was still being, and then they developed it for soybean and for barley, for sorghum, for a lot of other plants. But it was still being applied early in the season. And then in around 2006, they discovered that if you sprayed it on wheat late in the season, it would desiccate the wheat. In other words, it would dry it out. And one of the big losses for farmers in wheat is if it rains during the harvest season, you can't harvest it because it gets moldy. And so if you can spray a desiccant on it and dries it out and kills it, you can harvest it right away and it won't.
All right. So I can continue with that. All right. So the point is, and I'm going to get past this one because I'm going to show you some others. 37. SB, the lobbyist, bottom line, SB 144 should have never been created, should have never been passed. The House shouldn't have passed it, and Governor Kemp should not sign it. Everything about SB 144 totally ignores any respect for Donald Trump's administration, for Donald Trump's HHS secretary, for mothers that want to make their kids healthy again. Totally ignores it. As angry as they may get. That's one. Now, let's go to another one. You remember when Donald Trump sit there, right? You remember when he addressed Bank of America? You remember that? Debanking? You remember when he addressed the banking situation, when Donald Trump said, you know, you went against our freedom of speech. Give me number 88. You went against our freedom of speech, right? And you went after MAGA. You went after America First. You singled people out. And you know what? I'm not going to put up with it. We had groups all across the country, right, where banks shut their accounts down. 88, number 88, please. Banks, did I send it? Because I did make it. Did I forget to send it? There it is. Thank you, Diane. Because it was late in the game. So we had banks all across this country that your freedom of speech, and they would, boom, cut your credit card up and your bank account. We know that. We know what Donald Trump said, right? Now, this is for immediate release. This is March 7th. Now, pay attention to this. Statement from the Trump Organization regarding today's lawsuit against Capital One. Today, the Trump Organization filed a lawsuit in Miami-Dade County against Capital One to hold the bank accountable for their egregious conduct in unjustifiably terminating over 300 of the company's bank accounts without cause in 2021. Now, I'm going to say this is number 2. I'm going to give you about 4. All right? And Trump said this right out. We were singled out by these banks. The Trump Organization, right? Now, this is released March 7, 2025. Today, the organization filed a lawsuit, Capital One, They terminated unjustifiably 300 of the company's bank accounts without cause in 2021. What if in Georgia we were trying to pass a law that protected you and I from this? What if in Georgia we were trying to pass a law that said, you, the bank out there, cannot shut my account down for free speech? What if we were trying to do that? So the decision by Capital One to debank. We had a bill in Georgia to protect you from being debanked. I'm going to show you. Our company, after well over a decade, was clear attack of free speech. You can't make this up. Where, Josh? Are you getting this? And free enterprise that flies in the face of the bedrock principles and freedoms that define our country. All right, so they closed the accounts, right? Attack on free speech. Now, Diane, I'm going to ask you to put up a website. It's House Bill. I sent you a website, and all I did was put on there, it's the Georgia General Assembly, SB 57, and all I did was tell you we were going to use it in the Georgia Hour. Could you make it live and put it up there? So, in Georgia, we had a bill, right? Right there it is. SB 57. Freedom of Speech and Belief Act. We don't support Donald Trump in Georgia. So, boom. It died in the Senate. It didn't make crossover. Now, here are the people that signed on. You got Greg Dolezal, right? Steve Gooch signed on. Bo Hatchett signed on. You notice Kennedy, the Senate pro temp, under the lieutenant governor, he didn't sign on. Now, can you scroll down there a little bit? The first reader of the summary? Right there. I want to stop there. All right. Now, a bill to be entitled an act to amend Article 15, blah, 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 of the official code related to deceptive or unfair practices so as to protect the exercise of constitutional rights, to prohibit discrimination in the provision of essential services. The bank can't look at Voice of Rural America and say, you know, just we want to cut ties, right? Now, Donald Trump got screwed. Americans got screwed across this country. A law. Essential services, that's banking. To provide for public and private enforcement. To provide for definitions. To provide a short title. To provide legislative finding and declarations. To provide for related matters. Okay? But what is that second? If you go in here and read, I supported this bill. Donald Trump supports this bill. America supports this bill. Yeah. Now, let's see. So as to protect and exercise constitutional rights to prohibit discrimination, right, for essential services. This is debanking. Debanking. Now, if you go down there, you'll see when you don't get confused, you'll see on the 6th, 32, 22, you'll see like it passed. These are amendments. These are amendments put on the bill that kept passing. Then, when the final vote hit the bottom one, 188, vote 188, Can you hit that? And show the whole screen. Can you get to the whole screen? There you go. That's a vote. Passage of the bill. 13 yes, 43 nay. Republicans killed it. Okay. Did my senator vote for it? Absolutely. Steve Gooch voted for this. Let's see. Who voted against it? Where's he at? Well, there he is, Kennedy, in the 18th district. Kennedy voted against it. Now, Kennedy, this is what I understand. This is the way the game is played because it's a game down there, right? Kennedy is the president pro temp of the Senate. Now, pretty much, if leadership wants a bill to move forward, they could whip the votes, as they say. They could push it forward. Kennedy, I understand, wanted this bill dead. And it died. So there you go. This is number 2 this morning. Number 2 this morning. Sorry, we're not Trump country. Totally against. Give me number 88. Now that happened. Wait a minute. Go up, Diane. Can you go up? That happened, what? On the 6th? Was it that on the 6th? Go back. Make sure that was March 6th. I want to go to that other website when we close. Yeah, that was March 6th. Go back to 88. That died on March 6th. The Trump Organization, for exactly what that says, put this out on March 7th. March 7th. So guess what, Trump Organization? If some bank or something like that wants you not to operate at their bank in Georgia, they can do that. You can't make this up. They will pretend, why, we are pro. We are pro. Now, this is, and I'm only going to put this up for a brief minute. Give me number 80. All right. This is, they make a mockery. They make a mockery out of Doge. Elon Musk puts Georgia Republicans on the defense. It gives Democrats a rally cry. Now they're setting this up. I'm looking you in the eye and telling you that put this 80 and then 87 and then go back to 80, right? The AJC, which the Democrat wing of the Republican Party, Josh McCoon leading the way of the Democrat wing of the Republican Party, all right? They love the AJC. Now, I'll do it next week. I'm going to show you next week where, give me 87. Did I send you 87? There it is. Thank you. I don't know if I send these because I work on them during the show. But I'm going to show you next week with the audio and prove to you that Josh McCoon, the current chairman of the Georgia GOP, will tell you he can call the AJC and alter a story. You don't believe that? I have the tape. Monday. Right? Josh McCoon can call the AJC and alter a story. So don't you think this is not the layout for 2026? It's the layout. John Ossoff 2026 campaign will start with a rally targeting Trump. Well, hell, the damn Republicans in the Senate, in the House, and under the Gold Dome have already put the rally cry out for him. And why? Because number 80, they're already shifting. They're already shifting in this damn state. That's not it. Oh, that's it. Elon Musk puts Georgia Republicans on the defense and gives Democrats the rally cry. Huh. Now, total disrespect for Donald Trump in the state of Georgia. Not you and I. Now, this one is just laughable. It's so laughable, I will not spend time on it. Number 80. This is Frank Ginn, They made a mockery out of Doge, all right? Georgia lawmakers push partisan agendas with new bills from America First to abortion rights. It is actually a mockery to Donald Trump for Frank Ginn to hold up a Doge sick'em sign on the floor. It's a mockery because we are at Doge, we are cutting agencies, we're cutting employment, we're selling off businesses, all the above. That's what we're doing. But they'll hold this up, a total mockery to Donald Trump, while they do this, as we well know. Give me number 74. You can't hold Doge up. Say you support Donald Trump when Georgia is making billion-dollar decisions, right? We talked about this. We'll make this real brief. The House of Representatives on Tuesday approved a $37.7 billion. Give me number 75. The House 2026 budget proposal increases spending $1.6 billion. This is a total mockery of MAGA, America First, or Doge, or 4.4% over the original 2025 budget. Proposed spending is up 23% in 3 years, right? Knowing where it came from, 76, right? 76. Knowing it came from much of the spending has been fueled by the post-COVID economic boom. $16.5 billion budget reserve off of your tax money, where you were taxed double for a product. Not double the tax, double. This costs $1. You paid $1.08. All of a sudden it cost $2. You paid $2.16. And they were down there in Atlanta going, oh, just keep it up. Now, moving right along. That is another one, total disregard. Doge, cutting spending, fiscal conservative, total disregard. Now, here's the next one. I'll be damned. They just keep going. I got another one, right? So right here, we continue. I've told you over and over on this program, Donald Trump has said since the inauguration 5 or 6 times rigged and brought up the election. So in front of every governor in the United States of America, Donald Trump said this, right? Video 15.
One other thing, I just before we leave, I think you should do this. For my safety and security and for the good of our nation, you should do it anyway, regardless, even if it costs 10 times more, but it actually costs you just a tiny fraction. If you went to paper ballots and you're voting, and I would hope that every Republican would, so it costs exactly 8% of what the machines cost. These machines, they got something going. They get business. It's amazing. So paper ballots, and paper is very sophisticated today. Paper, it's called watermark. It's impossible to copy, impossible to cheat. It's actually hard to believe that a piece of paper is highly sophisticated, but it's watermark, and it's it's amazing actually when you see it. You can't cheat. But if you went to paper ballots and same-day voting, and if you went to voter ID, and also one other thing, you want a proof of citizenship. Those 4 things: proof of citizenship, voter ID, paper ballots, one-day voting.
So he has every governor in the United States, every governor, right? And he lays this out because the governors know, he knows what's going on with our elections. And he understands Pritzker in Illinois. He understands that. The governor in Maine, whatever that lady's name is, Gavin Newsom in California, ranked choice voting. He understands they're not going back and even talking about it. But he says, what does he say? At least every Republican in the room. Brian Kemp is sitting 15 feet away, the governor of Georgia. At least every governor Republican, at least every Republican. That would be us, Republican State House, Republican State Senate, Executive Office, apparently a Republican Secretary of State, apparently a Republican Attorney General. Oh, that's tough to say. But he says, look, especially Republicans. And he talks about safety and security. So what did we do? The Board of Elections was rolled right over, the State Board of Elections. Now, I showed you yesterday on elections where the Board of Elections from your county to your state is losing Republican representation on the Board of Elections. You are. And I showed you that yesterday in the segment, and you can watch the segment. Okay? And I sent this morning that segment to a professional, and I'll probably, if they give me the green light, I will probably show you Monday or tell you Monday who it is. But remember, on my segment yesterday concerning the Board of Elections, I sent a professional a message and said, unfortunately, you are probably correct on all accounts. Now, so we know what happened in Fulton County. They put monitors. Ryan Germany, number 81, of all people. Ryan Germany got to be the, we know his team. So let's overlook. We have just in time. Election monitors report well-run 2024 election in Fulton County, but seek improvements. Now, what this does is this just takes the Board of Elections and the need for them to make the decision out of the loop. Why? Because the Board of Elections did not like this, did not approve the monitor team for Fulton County in 2024, but the Secretary of State and Fulton County commissioners did. And they said, Board of Elections, we don't care. So what they're telling you here, all right, what they're telling you here is we're good. We can make that decision. Board of Elections. Now, our state Board of Elections, Jan Johnston, Janelle King, so on, if they want to remove them because they're trouble, there's a bill to do that. So here you go. A monitoring team reported vast improvements in Fulton County since the contentious 2020 election, blah, blah, blah. Organized and orderly election process. The monitors, who cited several problems Thursday in the meeting with the county election board, included a lack of voter privacy in many areas. So they picked out a couple areas they'd like to see better, but they're satisfied, right? And they went to where? The county's Board of Elections, the county Board of Elections, which does not, according to new laws, have to have Republicans on. That's right, whether you believe it or not. Now, number 77, Trump said, hey, I want paper ballots. You want paper ballots. We want security. Number 77, Senate panel to consider bill that hands Georgia lawmakers more say over election board. They have a bill right now. This goes to number 78. Let's see what 78 says. Georgia election bill replaced in late night maneuver to attempt to change voting laws. So what they want in this bill, they don't talk about the paper ballots yet. We had SB 303, right? SB 303, We don't have that. We don't want tabulators. Trump told you, even Republicans, you should do this. We don't have this yet. But what are they doing? Giving the green light to Fulton County. What are they doing? Saying, look, if we don't like the way state board members are acting, we want to make it to where we can remove them. What are they doing? Making it more difficult to pass rules for the election board. What are they doing? It's nonstop. Everything but what Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, has asked. Now, I gave you 3 direct things. Now, boys jumping in the pool, that's God-given no. But they pass the law, they're cheering. Just saying. All right, let's see what else I have here before I go any further. I've got one more that I wanted to show you on that matter. Let's go back. I showed you this yesterday. I'd like to just have this in the segment, Diane. Yeah, I knew I sent it. Number 79. I'm going to show you this last one. This should never be Republicans. Now, I'm going to give you the short version because I got a question on this because we have 2 minutes to wrap up. Diane, I'm going to want that last website before we close, all right? So this is number 79. County Board of Elections and Registration. Now, I'm going to just say this. This is last year, 2024, right? And this bill passed. Board of Elections and Registration in counties where probate court judges serve as election superintendents. Now, for the most part, every county in the state of Georgia has a Board of Elections. Now, I'm going to say about 12. I'm going to say 12. I could be off. I could be off 3 this way, 3 this way. I'm going to throw 12 out for a number. But until this law, there was about 12 counties in the state of Georgia, just a handful, that the probate office ran the elections. And this is the door they opened. So I supported getting the probate judges, because they're on the ballot, I've never liked that, off handling the elections and setting up Board of Elections for these counties. Now, these Board of Elections, I support that a Republican or 2 should be on this board. We'll go further into that next week. All right? But here's what they did. They made it to where no probate judges handle elections any longer. Okay, I can go with that. But what they did is they changed it to make the counties that have probate judges now Board of Elections, to where they did not have to accept a Republican. And I'm going to leave this just like this with you. You see the underline? We're going to go with that really quick. Who shall be appointed by the county government authority? Who shall be appointed by the county government authority may submit a list of recommended appointees. You may submit a list. All right. That such governing authority is under no obligation to appoint, okay, listed on such list recommended by appointee. Each board shall select a chairperson. They don't have to take your appointee. They don't have to have a single Republican. Now, they might. They don't have to. You understand? But I told you yesterday, this county can't do it, and this county said, well, wait a minute, what about us? Nothing that has bite, nothing that is true, nothing that is true MAGA, America First, Trump agenda, no. Donald Trump, who, according to our state legislature? Donald Trump, who? Give me number 89, and then we'll go to the website, and we're out for the weekend, Diane. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Number 89. do we have that one? Did I send it? No, I'm sorry, because I did send, I got 89 pictures. She's got to get 89 pictures ready in the course of a day. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate you. Georgia legislators ignore 60,000 emails opposing SB 144. The fix is in. Governed of, by, for the people is gone. Sold out to Governor Kemp's donors. Big Ag, Pharma, Tech, money. 2021 SB 221 killed. Georgia Republicans, WEF wins with Davos, Pilgrim Kemp. Whoa. Voters lose, trapped in a Dominion voting loop. Can we break free? Just saying. 2026 is coming. What's the deal? I got my eyes open. Diane, could you put that website up? Yesterday, and I owe America an apology. Seriously, I owe you an apology because I tell you, or everybody in Georgia, I tell you that we're looking at legislation. And could you click on home? All right. And welcome to the Mountain Legislative Watch Group. Latest report, how bills become law. Now, I like this one because I've explained it multiple times. In Georgia, how bills become laws. Learn more. Scroll down, please. You have your Senate. You have your House. You have a legislative search. And you become a member. Can you click member? Can you go down and click member? Click that and then go back. The member page. Thank you, Diane. No, not the, oh. Yeah, you can go there. There's see the area, it's password protected. So go back. Can you go back? I don't know. You see where it says join the group? You can go join the group, and once you can get inside there to have the conversation. Apathy leads to tyranny. Freedom only results when all citizens do their civic duty. Go back to the top. There you go. There you can sign up and you can keep up. I know there's about 10 days left. This is very important right now. Welcome to the Mountain Legislative Watch Group. You can get about them, members, how bills become laws, and alerts. You can sign up for alerts. All right. Have a great weekend. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics.
You want to tell everyone the website address?
You're watching the Georgia Hour. First and foremost, I incorrectly said, Diane, BKP Politics. That's between 8 and 10. Now, if you want to find, since we're here, give me just a second, Diane. If you want to find our segments, let me tell you a couple things as we leave over the weekend. The website here is Mountain LegislativeWatch.org. Mountain LegislativeWatch.org. That's the website. Folks, we're on Rumble, Voice of Rural America Rumble channel. If you have a Roku device or TV, you can find our app, Voice of Rural America, on Roku. All right. Also, go to voiceofruralamerica.com, our website. And then we have other things happening. You can follow us on Twitter, Voice of Rural AM, and other things that are happening. We will bring you up to date on Monday. Diane, you have a good weekend. Supposed to have some tough weather. Be careful. And I'll see you Monday morning at 8 a.m.